don't consider myself a fall girl, but when the average summer temperature in the place you live is triple digits, I think you're legally required to look forward to fall. Okay, so this project, I want to make a dress. I bought this fabric last year. It was like $3 or $5 a yard. It was a steal. And getting around to it this year, I found a pattern. It was 99 cents, which is absolutely epic. And I really, really love the top piece. Not so crazy about the sleeves. I ended up cutting out this, spoiler alert, I already cut out most of my pattern pieces, but I ended up cutting out this kind of, focus please, flutter sleeve. And I think I'm gonna gather it and actually do puffed sleeves, which is not my style. I think my problem with puffed sleeves is that most of the time the shoulders are way out here and then you have a puffed sleeve, so it just broadens your shoulders, which I do not care for on me at all. But I think if I can manage to pull the shoulder in to about here and then have a puffed sleeve that mostly gathers at the bottom and not up here, I might be able to make it work. The other thing that I'm changing about the pattern is the skirt. In my opinion, if a skirt doesn't twirl well, it is not worth wearing. It has to have volume. My go-to is normally a circle skirt, and as I said, I already cut out most of my pieces, and I was actually only able to fit the equivalent of 3 panels in. So it's gonna be a 3/4 circle skirt, and we'll see how that goes. I might mess with it, see if I can get it any fuller. The other thing I want to do is add an underskirt, like a white little kind of chemise looking thing with some lace at the bottom. I think that would be really cute. And I also want to add ties. I always get jealous when I see little girls with those big poofy skirts and a little cute tie that cinches in your waist and has a big bow in the back. I'm doing that. And we'll see how much fabric I have left. I might have to cut it on the bias. But yeah, the next step is cutting. Also, hi, my name is Robin West. I'm an artist and sewist. I'm also cutting out some extra pieces for the sleeve, mostly to fit that elastic channel through and to also put like a little facing so I don't have to hem the sleeve. So, I did in fact get a new sewing machine. It's really cool. It's got dual feed, which is kind of like a built-in walking foot, which is really cool. And also an embroidery module over here, which that is a monster for another time. But I'm super excited about it, so this is what we'll be using now. Watch this. It threads my needle. Alright, now that we've got the ties all put together, I think I'm going to start working on the bodice. I had to seam rip both of those shoulders once each. Tell me you haven't sewn garments in a while without telling me you haven't sewn garments in a while. Because I don't have a serger, I'm going to be finishing these seams with the zigzag stitch. Not gonna lie, that facing kind of broke my brain, but I think we might have done it right. So we'll iron it and then top stitch it and see. This is what we have so far. I think it's gonna look really cute as soon as I cinch down the waist here. It kind of has this really pretty line here. Gathered it. I'm not very good at gathering. I don't generally like it very much, but I think it turned out pretty well on this. Also, the 3 buttons here are gonna look really nice. Okay, so for the skirt, I only managed to get 3/4 of a circle skirt, not quite entirely. And technically this measurement here would have fit my waist if there were 4 pieces, so it's a little too small. I'm gonna take a lot more off the waist so that it becomes the length I want it, and then I actually will probably gather the waist just a little bit. So I think I may take even a little bit more off the length. I don't know, it's not bad. But it's definitely full enough. Whee! I don't have to gather all that much. That's kind of why I'm wondering if I need to take off more. Because I don't want it to look stupid. Like just ruffled in certain places. So maybe I'll just take in the 2 seams by like an inch or so. Have it lay flat. I don't know. Okay, so I finished gathering the skirt. I think what I'm gonna do next is attach it to the bodice. And I think once I have this basted onto the bodice, I will then sew the underskirt on and hopefully envelope the end of the bodice between those 2 layers. Okay, so if I'm being honest, this waist is far too low for me. My natural waistline is up here. So I'm thinking I might unpick all of this, cut this bodice piece up here, and then reattach it and see how I like it. I also realized that I need to unpick part of the bodice because I forgot to put one of those ties in at the side that I sewed down. So I'm gonna do that too. And now I'm taking out all of my gathering stitches because it is such a mess. I just need to redo it again. Dressmaking is not for the faint of heart. I don't really know what to do. There's a couple things that bother me. And the one thing is that the front does not look gathered whatsoever. But when I turn to the back, the skirt's very, very gathered. Also, this stripe going here, I mean, it is a plaid. I didn't realize when I first bought it that it was so influential just one way. Very asymmetrical, and I don't know whether I need to pull it out or not. Okay, so I did a lot of work off camera, finished the sleeve here. It turned out way longer than I thought it would. I don't know if I'm mad about it though, it might be okay. I definitely took the shoulder seam in, if you can see here. I think what I'm probably gonna end up doing is re-sticking some more elastic in here, just so that it puffs a little more and it actually hugs my arm. But I think that's it for now. I'm gonna take a break from it, not look at it for a while, see if I like it any better. Maybe I'll put it on and ask Cross what he thinks. But for right now, I'm gonna go pick him up from work. Okay, moving on to day 2. Not gonna lie, I ended up ripping out the sleeve last night and then cutting them both down. I'm gonna try and make them smaller and end closer to up here and then have the gather come out. It was kind of sad. It was a lot of work, but I think this might be better. I'm really hoping. I'm gonna take out the elastic and also make it a lot tighter, as I said, to cinch it down on my arm. I'd really like to finish this today, and that means that there's going to be several things we need to get done. The most pressing ones, in my opinion, are going to be the sleeves. Should be easy once I figure out exactly what I want. Once the first one's done, the second one's going to be a breeze. I need to hem both of these skirts. I bought some lace yesterday, and I'd like to add that to the underskirt and possibly the sleeves. I'm also thinking about putting little ties on the sleeves because I think that would be so pretty and very, very feminine. I have to go out and get an invisible zipper. I don't have one and I forgot to get that yesterday. So when I need to take a break, I will be going and doing that. We have the buttons to put on, the zipper to put in, but I think that's about it. I think it's doable. We can do it. Just have to work hard. So I think the first order of business for today is the sleeves. Getting this first elastic out is going to be the hardest part. I'm a dumb. Much better. I've gotten this far in and realized I should have added pockets. What was I thinking? Sleeves are attached. It's a little hard to see because I'm trying to take a selfie. But I think they're cute. This is much more what I was thinking of. I think the next step is going to be to add the zipper. I'm kind of holding it all together with my hand back here and a couple pins. And I think actually having the second strap and being able to tie it in the back will help a lot. I think it's kind of cute. I'm not sure I'm converted to being a puffed sleeves person. It's still a little, I don't know, it just makes my shoulders look nice and wide. I don't know. We shall see. While my water boils, I think I'm going to pin this into the dress and plan my next move. I think I'm going to hand stitch now. I've got the buttons and the bows kind of precariously pinned on there. And I'd also like to finish up the zipper seam. Probably just hand sewing. I feel like I have way more control with that. Attach the bows, attach the buttons, and then hem both the skirts and we should be finished. Okay, it's definitely starting to look like a mess around here and it's slightly getting under my nerves. I guess on my nerves. I keep getting under my skin and on my nerves mixed up. And I end up like swishing them together. Anyways, my least favorite part, and that would be hemming. And I have to do 2 skirts, but at least they're not circle skirts. They're just 3/4 skirts. 3/4 circle skirts. Wow, I'm having a hard time. So I think what I'm going to do is a double hem. But I think just the first fold I'm going to do 1 seam. And then when I fold it over the second, I'm going to do 2 seams and imitate like a twin needle sort of look. So I guess the first step is to hem it. And then for the underskirt, I'm just going to fold it. I'm still going to fold it twice. I'm going to do the double hem. But instead of doing the 2 seams to imitate the twin needle, I'm going to do 1 seam and then take my lace and do the second seam with the lace around the circumference. This dress is definitely uneven in some places. Like you can see more of the underskirt certain places than others, it's not a straight line. But I don't think I care so much to fix it, so I'll just have to be moving constantly so people can't tell it's like that normally. Someday I'm gonna get a tablecloth, just a round tablecloth and cut a hole in the middle so I don't have to hem the stupid skirt. Okay, it's done. The last few bits were hemming, which took forever, and I finished up that zipper seam right there, so it should not fray on me, I'm hoping. As far as critiquing goes, there are a couple of things I'm not so happy with, and the main thing is the skirt. I'm not exactly happy with how asymmetrical it was, and I did kind of have it in my brain while I was thinking about it and designing it in my head that a circle skirt and a plaid print don't go too well together because you don't have panels, your plaids are going to go all over the place. So it wasn't entirely unexpected, I'm just slightly disappointed. I seriously messed up the underskirt hem. I sewed the 2 skirts together with the underskirt facing the wrong way, so all the seams were on the wrong side, and then I turned it over hemmed it once, and then realized I had turned it the wrong way so the raw side would be visible. That was a mess. I finished it up with the decorative stitch, which I think turned out pretty cute. I need to remember that in future because I think that, especially on like a hem of a dress and maybe the sleeves, I think decorative stitch could look really cool. The sleeves still feel like it makes my shoulders look kind of wide, but they're as good as it gets. I was hoping to make them even a little shorter than they are right now, but because the armhole ended up so low, it wasn't possible. And you know what? I'm happy with this. I think it looks nice. Which sort of leads me into what I'm really happy about. And honestly, the sleeves. I really, really like how they turned out, other than making my shoulders look wide. The ruffle's really cute. I really, really am glad that I put the lace on. I think it looks so nice. And I actually really like the bows too. There's something about bows. I used to not like them. I used to think they were kind of stupid looking, but getting older, I think I'm going back to when I was like 8. I like bows a lot. I like the buttons. I'm very, very happy about the ties around the waist. It made my life so much easier because then I didn't have to really worry about sewing the bodice so tight fit to my body. I can put on the dress and then cinch it in each time manually. And I think that works really well, and the bow is really cute from the back. I'm very much a fit and flare sort of person. I really like a tight bodice and then a nice full skirt to twirl in. And speaking of which, this worked out really well. Generally, I go for a circle skirt. It's my favorite. But only having 3/4 of a circle, not bad at all. It twirls just fine. It goes very far up. Very, very fun to dance and twirl in, which was a priority in this dress. I actually really like the midriff piece. I've been meaning to try making a dress in that style for a long time. I didn't think it would work with my body type, but it's okay. I'm not sure I'll ever do it again, but it's not the worst thing ever. I will say if I do ever use this pattern again, I will try to cut out the size smaller than I made this one because it is a little bit large. Generally, for most patterns, I do end up having to cut out the smallest and then even take it in some. And just because of the measurements on the back of the package, I thought that maybe this was like more of an old-fashioned one where the measurements just were typically smaller. But no, the seam allowance on this pattern was crazy too. It was like 5/8 of an inch or something crazy. Anywho, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I am very, very excited to show Cross when he comes home. But I think that about wraps it up. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. It's a little hard to believe that people will listen to 20 minutes of my voice and clips of me sewing. I am so blessed. Thank you so much. One of my main goals for this channel is to just put content out there that hopefully will spark others to create. I want people to feel like I do when I watch sewing videos. But that's enough for me. Thank you so much for watching again. Hope to see you in my next video. And here is my autumn dress.